everyone, and welcome to Cooking in Manhattan. Today we are not in Manhattan. Actually, we are not in the United States. We are in Istanbul, Turkey, and this is a spice market. I will be shopping for spices, and then I will bring them back to the States, and we will cook it together in the Orange Kitchen. So we are here, we've been purchasing spices, and we're gonna cook them together when I go back to my Orange Kitchen. And we're back in the Orange Kitchen. The trip to Turkey was wonderful. I had a great time and I learned a recipe that I want to share with you. It's Turkish eggplant stuffed with beef. So let me show you the ingredients. I have 6 eggplants. See, it's the smaller variety. Some people call it the Italian eggplants. Then I have 1 pound of ground sirloin. I am going to flavor with aromatics such as garlic, 2 cloves, 1 small white onion and some celery, and then I am going to enhance the flavor with some tomato sauce and a little bit of dry white wine. Obviously salt and pepper as always, but I have a secret ingredient. This wonderful spice mix, it's a Turkish spice mix, the recipe of which you will find on my website www.serenapalumbo.com, and I bought it at the spice market the last time you saw me. So now let's get cooking. Let's take care of the eggplants. I am going to remove the top of the eggplants like this and then cut it in half like this. So I have 2 halves now, and I am going to make incisions in the inside of the pulp. Don't make it too deep, otherwise you're gonna pierce the skin. You don't want that. You just want to be able to make a little bit of salt permeate the eggplant. So we are now going to do the other side, and then we are going to coat it with a little bit of salt. See, like such. So it's not too much actually, you just want to remove the bitterness from the eggplant. You remember we've done it already with the caponata some time ago. So now I'm going to finish my eggplants, and then I am going to move to the stuffing. It is going to be so good. I am browning my ground beef in my pot, and I want to make sure that all the juices come out before I start sauteing also the celery and the onion with the garlic. So it's gonna take 2 or 3 minutes, and don't worry if you see that there is a little bit sticking to the bottom of your pot, because all that goodness is going to be revived and rescued by a little bit of white wine. The meat has been browning for 5 or 6 minutes more or less, and now we are going to remove it and preserve it, see? And we are going to put the aromatics in the pan. So let's sit this here, and in the meantime let's put the aromatics. So we start with the onion, then we add the celery, and finally a little bit of garlic, 2 cloves. Here we go, let's get all the garlicky goodness. I'm gonna give it a quick stir, and then I'm gonna let it sweat for a little bit longer. Now that all the aromatics have been caramelizing in our pan, actually that's a pot, we are going to put in the meat again and make sure that everything blends together seamlessly. We are going to stir this and combine and let it saute a little bit longer for like 2 or 3 minutes, and then we are going to deglaze the pan and make this the most amazing stuffed eggplants ever. So now we are ready to deglaze the pan. I have half a cup of dry white wine that I'm going to pour in here. Can you hear it? That's the glazing action. So now I am going to actually scrape the bottom of the pan a little bit, so all those beautiful bits of caramelized onions and caramelized celery, and obviously a little bit of meat too, are going to be released into the pan. So we are going to have a very flavorful meal, and also the alcohol is going to completely evaporate. I am adding also half a cup of tomato sauce. This is tomato puree actually. And finally, we have our wonderful spice mix. So here it is. I am going to stir everything to combine, and I will let it sit a little bit so that now we can focus our attention on the eggplants. I am squeezing out all the dark juice from the eggplant, all the bitterness out of the eggplant, and then I am going to rinse it thoroughly so that no additional salt is in the eggplant. So I'll squeeze it once more, and here it is, the perfect canvas for a Turkish eggplant. And now we are going to fry just the front of this eggplant. So basically we are only going to fry this portion, the portion where all the stuffing is going to go. So face down, and make sure that your oil is very hot, otherwise the eggplant will absorb way too much oil. So I am going to cook this very quickly, placing them facing down. See, and see if it's cooking. Yeah, a couple of minutes, and then we are going to put them in a baking sheet and stuff them and put them in the oven. We have deep fried the front of the eggplants, and now we have placed them in a baking sheet with a little bit of parchment paper. You know, that's one of my favorite things. And we are going to stuff them with the meat mixture that we have prepared already. So it's stuffing time. Take a look. I am going to put a generous amount of the meat mixture on each single one of the eggplants. And then I am going to finish cooking the eggplants in the oven at 375 degrees for more or less 25 to 30 minutes, depending on the thickness actually of the eggplant. Sometimes you need to cook them for a little bit longer. But these eggplants will be so delicious, and we are going to eat them with a wonderful watercress salad with a little bit of a tzatziki inspired dressing. This smells so good, I cannot even begin to tell you, and now I'm gonna taste it. This is so good. The clean flavor of the eggplants goes so well with the richness and the spiciness of the meat. You need to try it, you will feel like you are in Istanbul. I hope you enjoyed this little piece of turkey in your own kitchen, and I'll see you again on the next Cooking in Manhattan. Ciao!